Welcome back to the Butler Center on the campus of St. Catherine University. I'm Mike Peden. He is Sam Wagner. This is Game 2 of our tripleheader. The Simley Spartans at 11-2 and the Holy Family Catholic at 9-5. Simley, a top 10 team in Class 3A, and Holy Family Catholic, one of the sleepers to watch in Section 5-2A. And Sam, you had a chance to look over some of the players to watch, and Simley, they're led by a senior-heavy group that includes 3 Division I commits.
Yeah, excited to see how these seniors in the starting lineup play together with the TT Danso and her sister Chomp Danso averaging most of the team's rebounds. I'm really looking forward to see how they perform as a group.
And for Holy Family Catholic, not as much known about them. They like to spread it around. They've got Grace Elander, 12.8, Nicole Bolin, 12.1, Abby Fink, 11.5, Lucy Hurdle, 9.9, and Sophia Hall, 9.2. So they're starting 5. Any one of them can step it up.
Yeah, that's a really balanced scoring across the board. A couple of them have highs over 20 this season, and I think any one of them can step up.
Let's take a look at the starters for the Simley Spartans, the visitors. It's TT Danso, number 1. Sydney Stensgard, number 2. Raven Miles, number 3. Chomp Danso, number 15. And Ysareia Chevre, number 21. Holy Family will start. Abby Fink, number 11. Grace Elander, number 12. Sophia Hall, number 13. Nicole Bolin, number 23. And Lucy Hurdle, 33. So a lot of players to keep an eye on. And for Simley, this could be, I don't want to say their last shot, but they're really hoping to make the most out of this season. They had a lot of injuries a year ago that derailed their efforts. They ended up losing in the section semifinal in 3A, but they didn't have Raven Miles or TT Danso. TT had a stress fracture. Raven Miles tore her ACL in the first game of the year. So it was not a full-strength Simley team. And we are underway. Simley with the first possession. Simley with several high-quality wins this season, and TT Danso wastes little time.
Yeah, you see Raven Miles wearing that big right knee brace. That's a brutal injury to come back from. She seems to be moving well out there. First assist on that first possession.
Lucy Hurdle knocks down the 3. Mark Stensgard, Simley's head coach, told me, Raven's freedom of movement has been restricted with the knee brace, and it can be frustrating at times that she can't move like she used to, but she is getting better and better every day. Another 3 for the Fire. That does not drop. Simley on a big win streak. They have won their last 8. They have not lost in over a month. Their last loss came against Stillwater, 58-51, in a game they had a chance to win. Here's Raven Miles driving and scoring.
Making up for missing the runner on last possession. She attacks and gets it right back.
Well, that ACL tear hasn't affected her lateral movement.
Or aggression.
Well, and that's tough when you have to watch. Backdoor play, and Holy
Very
Family
nice
cashes in.
find. Good pass.
Grace Elander scores. Some of the key wins in this winning streak for the Spartans are Austin, Matamidi, a conference rival, Hill Murray, a perennial in the Metro East, and Stewartville, a top team in Class 2A. Here's Chevre on the attack. And Simley doing what they want when it comes to drives.
Yeah, a couple easy looks in the paint early on here.
Holy Family looking to answer from three-point range. They cannot. And for Simley, 4 of the starting 5 are volleyball basketball crossovers. The only one who isn't is Ysareia Chevre, but she's no slouch. But all the others play volleyball, and most of them do it just for fun. They hadn't picked up the sport at all until they got to high school. And Ysareia Chevre feeling it, knocking down the elbow J. Ysareia started her college career at Tartan, transferred in her junior season. And a foul on TT Danso. Free throws coming for Nicole Bolin.
Stayed with the crossover well, but went up aggressive and had some contact.
Let's talk a little bit about Nicole Bolin. A basketball and softball crossover, also starting to pick up golf. And Adrian Turner tells us a master of seeing the game before it happens. And if she has that kind of vision, I wonder how much money she makes against the spread. I'm kidding.
Oh, missed an open chomp Danso down low.
A lot of time left, though. Raven Miles to TT Danso through the hole. Feeds Raven for the layup.
Another nice finish. Soft touch.
And Raven, the starting point guard, so her return, I have to imagine, helping Simley run their offense more effectively than last year when Bonita Franco had to play that role.
Well, so far so good in this one.
And they get the turnover on Holy Family Catholic. They have an early 10-6 lead.
And we got to credit Raven Miles with disrupting that pass. As she sits down. Abby Hepper on in her place.
Chevre to Stensgard. 3 is off the mark. Chomp Danso with the rebound, no good. Chomp and TT, they are sisters, in case you were wondering. Their parents came over here via Ghana, and TT is fluent in the Twi language. I think that's how you pronounce it, which is one of the native tongues in Ghana. And there's the hookup with sister, but Chomp a little too strong. And an unforced error on Holy Family Catholic.
As Grace Elander couldn't quite handle the high pass.
Chevre reached 1,000 points last year. Has a deathly fear of butterflies.
Butterflies.
Well, at least that's what she said last year. So the butterfly effect, probably not a movie that she has in her collection. Oh wait, that's not about butterflies.
Yeah. Oh, good D, good hands.
Pressure up top results in a turnover. Chevre will get credit with the steal. Finds Chomp. And Chomp lost her balance momentarily, and that affected her shot attempt.
That shot.
And Holy Family throws it away again. No, it was deflected. I thought it was
deflected. I thought it was another errant pass.
But the way Simley's defense has been in sync so far.
Yeah, hands up, tipping balls. Yeah, force some turnovers.
This may be the last best chance, at least in the foreseeable future, for Simley to make a state tournament with the senior heavy class graduating. Their biggest contender, Como Park and St. Croix Lutheran. The Crusaders got a big win over De La Salle last week. And Como Park, they beat Cretin-Derham Hall earlier today. That young, scrappy team, that's going to be a fun group to watch. Still Holy Family ball with 13:04 left. This is Elander. Chevre keeps her away. And even though Chevre left Tartan, she's still best friends with a couple of former teammates in Nevaeh Meister and TK Mason, who now play for Cretin-Derham Hall. I'll never forget when Nevaeh Meister told me first time she saw Ysareia, Sydney Stensgard fires the 3, so Chevre gets the dime. Stensgard with the triple, and that gives me a chance to vamp. Nevaeh Meister, first time she saw Ysareia, said or thought to herself, who is this girl and why is she bigger than everybody? And now they're best of friends. They played against each other last year when Meister and TK were still at Tartan, so you don't have to worry about that. But even with the conference rivalry of a year ago, it could not break up their friendship, and that's cool to see.
Yeah, that's great.
And speaking of Simley, let's talk a little more about these players. Simley and Ysareia Chevre. Not only is she afraid of butterflies, she eats ice cream with a fork and has loved Lego since she was a toddler, so I have to imagine the Lego movie and its spin-offs and sequels are probably in her collection.
Well, I'll agree with her on the Lego one. Forever toys, those.
Not gonna lie, the Lego movie kind of rekindled my passion for it, and the Lego Batman movie was just zany, wacky fun.
Yeah, they're a lot.
Anytime you get Phil Lord and Christopher Miller involved, you know you're going to be in for a wacky, wild adventure.
Yes.
So, if Ysareia can maybe develop, maybe would she compromise with a spork to eat ice cream with?
Maybe a Lego spork.
A Lego spork? I know, if she's watching this, if we're not careful, we're going to give her all these crazy ideas when she goes off to Monmouth. Foul is on Abby Fink. That will send Sydney Stensgard to the line. Sydney Stensgard, a volleyball, basketball crossover, also involved in the National Honor Society. And this is the last time, the last year, unless Mark Stensgard gets a job at Montana State, where Sydney and her father will be alongside each other.
One of 4 Super 100 seniors on this team.
And that was according to the breakdown. I'm not very good with the rankings, but she is a super senior. Simley looking to run. Sydney Stensgard. Well, she'll get free throws out of it. And during the volleyball season, I haven't had the chance to see them play in their home confines at Invergrove Heights, but it's not uncommon for these athletes to dress up. As Sydney put it, look good, play good. But Stensgard has struggled at the line thus far. TT Danso with the O-board. Stensgard for 3, pure.
Another 3.
Well, why settle for free throws when you can make triples?
That's 4-point possession for her.
Get an extra point out of it, and it's 17-6. Bolin with the fake, no good.
I liked that little hesitation, but couldn't get the bucket.
Rebound went to Aaron Borchard. Miles to Stensgard. Thought about a 3. Can't bait the fire on the pump fake. Miles is swinging around. Borchard has it. Out to Raven Miles. TT Danso. Blocked. And that was Sophia Hall with the rejection. Bolin weaves around her defender and scores. That was Elander. Elander, not Bolin. This is my first time seeing Holy Family. I'm still getting the names and numbers right. So please don't come out for me. Don't set me on fire, Holy Family Catholic. I'm sure they've heard that more than once. Elander averaging 12.8 a game, the leading scorer for the Fire, but as we noted, any one of them can step it up. And that's Regan Cizek.
Number 15 checking in.
Cizek averaging 6 off the bench. Stensgard, baseline J, does not drop.
Can't quite handle her own rebound.
10:18 left in the first half. Simley leads 17-9.
Stensgard and TT Danso out.
Orchard and Hepper are in. Good recognition by the Fire. Regan Cizek saw an opening on the baseline and puts it in. Chomp out to Miles for three.
Second chance.
And Aaron Borchard slithers away through the hole. Good recognition by Aaron. And Simley keeping a leg up.
A little bit of a forced pass there.
They have a chance to extend the lead.
Oh, soft touch on that pass from Miles. Wow.
Miles with the dime, Chomp Danso with the bucket. Go ahead.
Well, and for Chomp to collect herself, she had so much forward momentum to catch that pass. She collected, stabled, hit the little bucket.
Another turnover. Chevre picks up the loose ball. Pulls into an elbow J, and that did everything but go in. We'll see if this happens. Keep an eye out for this. One of Ysareia's favorite moves, around that spot where she just shot the ball, she loves to use that sometimes as a decoy.
And then drive the lane.
Or not drive the lane. What happens is a teammate will set up underneath, and so it looks like Chevre's going to pull up, and instead she'll fire it to a teammate waiting down low. She pulled off that move to perfection at Tartan and at Simley last year.
So that's some smart mental game there, setting up the defense to anticipate her taking that elbow jump shot later on in the game, where maybe next time she'll just pass it to a teammate. We'll see what happens.
Well, Chevre may not be the biggest name of the senior class. Then again, when you're in the same class as Paige Beckers, everybody else is fighting for second, but there's a lot of talent, and she's among them. And on cue.
Blitz two defenders and hits a little runner. Nice finish.
Really, it's a deep senior class.
Yeah,
if you go beyond just Paige Beckers.
It's a pretty deep senior class here on the Simley team.
And when you consider all the players going Division I for Simley, well, I don't know what's going to happen, as we have a traveling call on number 24, Sophia Zay. You've got 3 D1 commits for Simley, so the All-Star Series Committee, they're going to have some tough choices to make because they don't allow more than 2 per school. And you've got 3 who all could
no kidding
make a case to play in that series. Here's Chomp Danso, denied by Sophia Hall.
Simley doing a good job shifting on offense, getting that ball to the free throw, middle of the paint spot.
Chasing down the loose ball was Ella Larson. Tie up Simley with the arrow.
Also play from Sophia Zay to get the jump. Don't get the ball now, but you switch the possession arrow.
Stensgard to Chevre. Elbow J. Just a little bit short, but Chomp Danso with the rebound and the putback.
Second chance buckets.
And as you noted, the Danso sisters, they can clean up on the boards. In fact, TT has more rebounds than points, which is a pretty rare feat. Considering you can, well, buckets or field goals, you get at least 2 points out of them. You don't get 2 rebounds in one play.
You're right, exactly. Like a badge of honor, that statistic.
And I think it says something about the depth of this team that, you know, TT's going Division I to Bradley, and she's only averaging 7.5 per game, roughly. Chevre for three. It's there.
Nothing but net.
Chevre averaging 12.1. Stensgard the leading scorer at 15.8. Chevre picked up her first 20-point game of the season in a win over Hill Murray. Stensgard with the block, and Simley with the chance to extend this lead. Stensgard will take it all the way. Timeout, Holy Family Catholic, and I sensed one coming.
Yeah, stop that run some way or another.
Sydney Stensgard, 20 points or more in 4 of her last 6 games, including 29 in a win over Hastings. Hastings not the strongest team in the state, but they have a marquee player in Mallory Brake, the all-time leading scorer. She's going to Creighton, so to get 29 against someone like Hastings and Mallory Brake, that's pretty good. 7 steals against St. Paul Central. And as we noted, some high-quality wins in this 8-game win streak. The one that surprised me the most, I know Eastview's going through a rebuilding year, but last year those two met at this facility. Eastview got the win. This time around, it was Simley getting a 60-21 win over Eastview. Keep in mind, this was a team that makes the state tournament every year in Eastview. They got to the semifinals last year.
Yeah, that's a standout victory right there to begin the win streak.
And looking ahead, they have a lot of winnable games. Matamidi, Hill Murray could give them a run in the Metro East. Christ Household of Faith, East Ridge could be another team to keep an eye on. Those two will play each other February 1st. And the Raptors, not a front runner, but they're a lot better than a year ago. So the Simley team maybe flying under the radar with Como Park and the season they've had so far. But again, one of 3 teams that has a legitimate chance of getting out of Section 3-3A. Elander will shoot a pair. Holy Family had a rough start. They lost 3 in a row to Totino Grace, Benilde St. Margaret's, and Watertown Mare. Then they went on a big win streak, 7 in a row. Lost a pair to Waconia and Chanhassen, but being a 2A team in the Wright County Conference, those aren't losses you're going to sweat much about. And an interesting dynamic that Holy Family in a conference that is mostly 3A teams. Elander knocks down both free throws. And Chanhassen, that was just a friendly. That one, 90-84. 84 points in a loss. That's
barn burner.
A rare thing. Ysareia Chevre feeling it from the right wing. Chevre up to 12.
She's feeling it early.
And I had to do a double take, but the score's right. Like 33-13. That's not an error, is it?
No, that's where we're at this point.
I don't believe it.
They've put up a bunch of quick points here.
Well, you did say Simley looked scary good beforehand. You thought they would showcase their might, and they're doing just that. Raven Miles looking to add 3 more, no good. TT Danso will shoot a pair.
I think he called it on the ground before the shot went up.
You're right. You're right. They are lining up for a side out. Well, someone's paying attention.
Yeah, Simley looking like a well-oiled machine early on here.
Stensgard for 3.
Bullseye. Oh, they like that 3.
Can we go home now? No, we have a long way to go. Let's not count out this Holy Family Catholic team. One of their big wins came against Providence Academy. Providence leads the section in QRF, which the smaller classes use to seed the group. So even if Holy Family doesn't end up with a 1 seed, that's a big win they can take with them going into sections. Annandale and Rockford are a couple of other ones to watch. Watertown Mare, They lost that one in a close game. So 5-2A, any one of those teams that I mentioned could get out of there.
Steal.
And this is what Holy Family needs, a steal and a run out.
Well, they know, like you and I do, that every good shooting streak does come to an end. They've got to keep playing tough D.
Sydney Stensgard left alone. Well, there you go.
There's your miss. Couple unanswered points here if they can get a bucket on this possession.
Holy Family could certainly use a run. They trail by 21. Step back three.
Oh, in and out.
Chevre with the board. Stensgard, high-low to TT Danso, a little too far underneath. And TT ran out of real estate.
Yeah, I liked the idea, but the pass put her in a difficult position.
And we do use the longer courts here at college and the pros. It's 94 feet, if I remember correctly. In high school, it's 84 feet, the length of the floor. That's 10 extra feet.
I think the players appreciate the space. Tough defense.
Nothing doing for Lucy Hurdle. Simley on the run. Sydney Stensgard, short.
I don't think she saw she had help there.
But it will stay Simley ball. You can't falter for trying. You see an open lane or a one-on-one. Most players have the confidence.
Well, and it's not necessarily a bad idea either, attacking on a fast break like that. 'Cause
right.
chances are you go to the line just as much as you make the bucket. But there was an open player on the right side. Travel.
You caught that.
A little hop step. You can get away with it sometimes.
Or if you're LeBron James, you can just take a little stroll.
Or Giannis, you can
Or James Harden, you can do a double step back and not get called for it.
Yeah. Different game in the NBA.
A lot of these kids watch it, though.
Oh.
Ooh, that hurts.
That's frustrating to do. As the cutter, you're putting your hand out more to sell the defender on your fake, but sometimes you trick your own teammate.
I don't think that's how they drew it up in practice.
No, not quite.
Chevre into a 15-footer, swish.
She wasn't going to miss another shot from that range.
Chevre getting anything she wants.
14 now?
You're correct, it is 14. Czek pump fakes the three, and that doesn't pay off.
She saw her open teammate on the opposite block, but didn't step far enough into the Simley defense to create the space for the pass.
And free throws will be coming for Sydney Stensgard. Sydney 20 or more in her last 6 games.
And out goes her sister, TT Danso.
So the 4 20-point games in 6 stretch, 29 against Hastings, 21 against South St. Paul, 22 against Mahtomedi, 20 against Stewartville. Had just 9 against Tilbury, but again, it was a win, so you're not really caring much about
Doesn't
points.
matter. Yeah.
Well, and again, Simley's got a lot of depth. Didn't need to get 20 because Ysareia did.
Yeah.
Chevre hit with a foul, but Simley with a 40-15 lead. And this team, having Raven Miles back makes a world of difference. When you look at some of the teams, some of the performances they played from last year to this year, They beat Eastview by 39. They're up by 25 over a solid Holy Family Catholic team. Much like Hutchinson, what you're seeing is not indicative of their potential. I mean, they're 9-5, and they'll shoot free throws here. 9-5, including a big win over Providence Academy, a top 10 team in 2A at the moment. What do you think is the difference here? Obviously, scoring is a big one, but how do you think Simley has been able to build a 2-1 lead in scoring?
Well, it's not just out shooting them, but they're finding the open looks. They're making the right passes offensively. That was a sloppy mistake, but for the most part, they've been mistake-free and patient on the offensive side of things. Whereas the Fire have made a couple of errant passes and haven't been shooting at the same clip, and there's your difference.
It helps that they're getting offensive rebounds too.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the second and third chances make a world of difference as well.
And even if they don't get you putbacks, it gets Abby Hepper a trip to the line. Abby Hepper doesn't score a lot, just 2.7 a game. 3.2 rebounds. I imagine Hepper will get more time.
Second one goes down.
.30 seconds.
Trying to use the double screens. What a board, skying for it.
That's Chomp Danso.
Fortunately, turning it right back over with the traveling as she sat down, lost her balance.
Well, we're not going to falter for that.
Nope. I was impressed with the rebound. Fire looking for the last look here. And
Holy Family scores. That's Grace Elander. But it's been all Simley this half, and they've got time. Chevre steps into another jumper. Well, that doesn't work, but the first 18 minutes, I'd say, worked out real well for the Spartans. They lead 41-19 at the half.
Pretty commanding performance there in the first half. Leaves the second half for them just to maintain.
Commanding might be an understatement. Some strong performances out of Chevre and Stensgard, and we will break it down in more detail when we return. You're watching the MLK Fury Classic at St. Catherine University.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Mike Peden and Sam Wagner with you at the Butler Center, home of St. Catherine University, and Simley making home out of this place, at least in the first half. 41-19 is the score. Sydney Stensgard and Ysareia Chevre have 14 points each. Holy Family, their two leading scorers, Grace Elander with 9, Lucy Hurdle with 7.
I think if they can start...
that explains it right there.
Yeah, exactly. I think if they can start to keep or not start to, but keep getting the ball down low to Grace Elander, get her back to the free throw line a couple more trips, get her a couple of easy buckets in the paint. They can chip into this lead. But on the other side of things, Chevre has really been commanding the offense here for Simley in a great way.
An impressive performance for sure by Chevre as Simley looks to make it 9 in a row.
A nice spin and finish there on the first possession.
Lucy Hurdle scoring. There's Chomp to TT. The sisters have tried to hook up a couple of times. Hasn't quite worked out. We mentioned TT fluent in Twi, or the Twi language, and Chomp, her younger sister, likes to paint and draw in her free time, and TT does the same, actually.
Trying to go over the top.
Right.
Ball batted. Ooh, what a slick pass.
And free throws coming for Grace Elander.
Couldn't make lemonade with that nice pass, but they'll get to the free throw line.
Elander, the 5'8" senior. She runs a faith-based Bible study program at Holy Family Catholic that may not surprise you considering Holy Family's parochial status, but still a cool thing for a young athlete to do.
Yeah, it's awesome to see how many of these athletes are involved in other extracurriculars or different sports in their schools. Two passes break that press pretty quickly.
Well, and Holy Family trying to build a run here to start the second half. TT Danso, fade away, yes. TT Danso played on the Metro Stars last summer in AAU. Among her teammates, Liza Carlin from Stillwater, Mia Curtis from Minnesota Academy. Here comes Sydney Stensgard with another steal and run out. That puts her up to 16. And Danso, also an AAU teammate with Paige Beckers.
That's a stacked team.
Well, they played at North Tartan, didn't like how things were going over there, and so a lot of them moved over to the Metro Stars. And they all go to each other's games. Mia was at a Simley North St. Paul volleyball game I covered back in the fall. Mia Curtis, that is. Well, Paige Beckers will show up too when they have free nights.
Cool.
You know, that AAU program.
It's going to be the future Lynx lineup.
Who knows? Well, let's see what happens. Paige, I imagine a few other teams might want to take a look at her. And who knows? Maybe Chevre might get a look.
Yeah.
Well, Paige has got to get through 4 years at UConn, but I was told to expect big crowds with their matchups this week against Wayzata and St. Michael Albertville, and I can believe it.
So, yeah.
Why do you think I'm going there? Well, last year was a sellout for a girls' game.
Yeah.
Standing room only. Simley on the run, Champ Danso unable to finish.
Two on the mark passes advanced the ball so quickly on that break. It's too bad she couldn't finish.
Free throws coming, I believe, for TT Danso.
The right hand had the clean block, but the left hand was grabbing an arm or a shoulder there.
No, I take that back. Holy Family shooting on this end. Maybe it's something in the water. Grace Elander will shoot a pair. That's what I meant to say. Looking ahead at the schedule, Holy Family Catholic. They'll face a solid New Prague team in conference play. They've got another game with Waconia. And Norway Young America, they were a team that used to participate in this event. And they've got some athletes. Holy Family Catholic, located in Victoria, in the outskirts of the West Metro. Stensgard feeding it to Chomp Danso. Didn't see an opening, she'll back off. Chevre. Well, that was an amusing moment.
She split the defenders after the pump fake and got just a little too excited. Able to control the ball at least. There's an entry pass. And that's something to watch. How fast did that happen? The entry pass went down low, and Chomp Danso didn't even bring the ball down. She just spun on her left foot and put it right in, keeping the ball high and strong. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Borcher got the dime there, and that's good floor awareness on the part of Chomp Danso. A lot of players would bring that ball down instinctively, give your defense a chance to contain you, but knowing where she was, paid dividends. And again, this time, it's Stensgard to Chomp Danso.
Stensgard penetrating the lane, attracting a little attention, and dumps it off for the easy land. Yeah, gets a block on the other end. Stepped on the line. Bummer.
Well, as I said before, that's not something you're going to falter for.
No. I just say bummer because you make a play like that after a nice assist on the other end, and you feel like you're riding high. You want to pick up the ball and run the fast break.
She's still riding high.
Yeah.
Chevre will finish that play.
There's the trailer on the fast break, coming in clutch again.
This Simley team playing as advertised.
Yeah.
I thought this game was going to be closer, and again, not indicative of the potential Holy Family Catholic has when you have a win over Providence Academy. I mean, and you played well against other teams in the section.
Ooh.
They'll take that one.
Lost on the inbound for the easy bucket.
And you know, for Holy Family Catholic, every team wants to win their games, but for Adrian Turner and his crew, they look at this as a learning opportunity. You're getting to play a top 10 3A team.
Yeah, great challenging matchup.
You know, and Becker had the same attitude when they were asked to play Hopkins in the Tip-Off Classic back in November. They figured we may get our butts kicked, but they said it's a good way for us to learn as a team going up against the likes of Paige Beckers.
Yeah, no kidding.
And they've done it for 3 years in a row. So, you know, yeah, we might get our butts kicked, but we'll take those lumps. It'll help us get better. Because there are some teams, as Holy Family drives, and I think that was Hepper on the block, there are some teams, although when you look at their schedule, some are reluctant to play a Hopkins or a Ysareia because of how it might look. But Hopkins, I think they've inspired a lot of teams to face them in their schedule. Farmington was one. Stillwater, they'll play each other next Saturday morning. It was supposed to be last Saturday. That didn't work out due to weather.
Well, there's something to be said for that. You know, pick the most challenging matchups you can, learn as much as you can, challenge yourself as much as you can, and you'll see improvement faster.
Chaska took them on earlier.
Good hustle play to save the possession. Looking for a foul.
Yeah, I thought there was contact, but they say Abby Hepper got a clean block out of it.
I would have said there was a certain amount of contact too, but we play on. Stays here. Fireball underneath.
Timeout, Holy Family Catholic. 11:55 left in the second half. What else can we share about these players? Well, Raven Miles, we didn't get a chance to talk about her at all last year. Normally a volleyball-basketball crossover, could not play volleyball this season. So she was doing a lot of physical therapy to work her way back. They're hoping she stays healthy, and again, Mark Stensgard, I think, has a lot of hopes about the potential for this team with the Spartans at full strength. And for Holy Family Catholic, I think we touched on all of their notes, but I go back to what you said. I wasn't sure, when you said this Simley team looks scary, and I knew they were good, but they are all over Holy Family Catholic tonight.
Yeah, they're playing like a team that's been in that commanding place before, where they, top of their division, their section.
And we'll see if it results in a state tournament berth. Again, St. Croix Lutheran, Como Park. Those are going to be the three teams to watch, with the Crusaders getting a win over De La Salle, the defending champions. That got everyone's attention. But Simley has so many ways to beat you, and I would say they have more size than St. Croix Lutheran and Como Park.
Yeah, and the size is exampled here in this game. They do stand head above most of the Fire team. They're dominating down low today.
And it's a shame that none of those teams scheduled each other in section play, so when it comes time to seed, they're going to have to rely on other resume builders. Not that Simley's had any trouble building their resume at an 11-2 record. Their two losses, Tom Danso goes to the line for a three-point play.
Off a tough finish.
Yeah, the two losses that Simley suffered were to 4A teams, Chaska and Stillwater, both top 10 teams.
Just saw Chaska take care of business.
And Chomp Danso taking care of business with the three-point play.
And a block on the other end.
Borcher to Miles. Sees a lane but can't finish.
Tough angle on that, but I thought she had a certain amount of space. Stays here anyway.
Well, we are approaching the Mercy Rule threshold, which is 35 at the 9-minute mark. That's when they would run the clock, so we'll keep that in mind.
Ref's talking about who possession, or what's the question here? No change. Simley ball still.
Holy Family ball. They go on the run out, and number 24, Sophia Zay, gets on the board.
On a well-run fast break.
Sophia Zay, an
gets
8th
the
grader.
steal.
This is an 8th grader making some moves. Oh, they swing it around. Delayed three-pointer. That doesn't go in.
Sophia Zay is getting her hands on just about everything right now. Almost had that rebound.
One of 4 8th graders on the varsity roster for Holy Family Catholic. 4 8th graders, 4 freshmen, 4 sophomores. So this Holy Family Catholic team will have a lot to build on.
And that experience at the younger age is so valuable.
High-low from Chevre to Hepper.
Pepper really had some good position there.
And this is just Simley's day. A couple of notes on Holy Family Catholic. They 2 of their seniors, their captains to be precise, have their college choices made. They will not continue in athletics, but they're going to some big-name universities. Grace Elander is heading to Baylor to take up studies there. And Abby Fink, number 11, will go to Notre Dame for her studies.
Exciting.
Lest we forget, people do go to college to get degrees too.
Rather than just to play basketball, Sophia Zay with another one.
Sophia Zay making an impression here. She averages 6.2 a game, so this is not unusual for her. And a good sign for Holy Family Catholic. Adrian Turner, relatively new to the Holy Family Catholic program, so a good opportunity to build up the ranks. Hepper inside again, no good.
Off of Holy Family.
And TT Danso, Sydney Stensgard will go back in. Stensgard, little
Looking
pump
for
fake.
that corner 3.
That was short. Foul on TT Danso, but with a 27-point lead, 8:23 to play, I don't think you're going to sweat that too much.
No.
And free throws coming for Lucy Hurdle. Third personal, better be careful, TT's in foul trouble. And we laugh only because of the advantage Simley has built. But again, this should be no surprise if you follow prep basketball. Simley, they played like this throughout most of the season.
Yeah. Quality team. Tough to beat.
And TT who gets the rebound. You want to know how she chose number 1?
Do tell.
It's an homage to one of the Simley greats, Abby Kine.
Ah.
Abby, Simley's all-time leading scorer and rebounder. Played Division I basketball, and TT decided to don number 1.
There's the 3.
That's Abby Fink who gets on the board.
Smooth stroke that.
One time I asked TT Danso and Sydney Stensgard who really was number 1 and number 2, since those are their jersey numbers. And TT replied, no comment. 7:50 left, 58-34. Now, TT, a quiet game for her, but again, she gets more rebounds than points. So,
And
this is right along her normal trajectory.
And we haven't been counting the rebounds, but she's got a number of them.
Wouldn't surprise me if she picks up another 10. In fact, she picked up a season-high 20 rebounds against Austin. That is where she makes a name for herself, the boards.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
And when it comes to scoring, Chevre and Sydney Stensgard have done a lot of that. Chomp Danso with 11. You know, that starting 5 for Simley, if they can stay healthy. I don't know what will happen in the state tournament because you've got some outstate teams like Marshall, Alexandria, Wilmer that you don't always get to see, but the Simley team looks a lot more fluid than when I covered them a year ago.
Yeah, really strong performance here today. They are moving the ball well. They're communicating on offense. They're communicating on defense. I would be threatened by them come state tournament time.
Well, remember, they got to get through the section, and it's not a cakewalk.
No,
with
no
Como Park
promises.
and St. Croix Lutheran. I've seen Como Park. I'll see them again on Thursday. They don't have the height, but they're scrappy. They get after it. They won a close game against Cretin-Durham Hall today, part of the MLK hopefully first annual MLK doubleheader at the school. TT Danso stripped.
Nice clean steal by Bolin.
Abby Fink leaves that one short, and the rebound to Stensgard.
And Holy Family really turning up the defensive pressure here out of the timeout.
Well, you're down by 24. Why not change it up?
Good contest at the rim.
Three on the way. Hurdle can't knock it down. Offensive rebound to Elander.
Keeps fighting.
And TT Danso has just as much fight.
Double team was too much.
Stensgard. Count it.
I kind of thought she might have been there, but blocking.
Yeah, that you could have made a case.
That was close.
I know. Well, we're up here, not down there, right?
That's true, yeah.
I'm not sure. Personally, I don't have any plans on being an official. I don't know if that thought ever crossed your mind.
I did do some officiating at lower levels.
I hear that can be intense now.
Yeah.
With parents who all think, well, not all of them, but you've got some parents who live through their kids, if you will. And I know we're keeping track of points and wins and losses here, but sometimes in what can be a hyper-competitive environment, it can get a little too intense. Not that I've seen that here. Well, take Simley, for instance. A lot of the starters played volleyball, and they do it for fun. Like their coach told me they never picked up a volleyball until they got to high school, and they just do it to enjoy something without having to worry about a college commitment or what ranking they have. They just go out there and play and have fun. And with all the issues that present themselves in sports these days, it's nice to see that these kids get together and play some sports just because they want to have fun doing it.
Just because it's fun to run around, yeah. I bet you they're not half bad, though.
Oh, no. They were a plus 500 team the last couple of years with their volleyball basketball crossovers.
Yeah, some serious athletes out here.
Yeah, they weren't a front runner in their section, although volleyball will expand to 4 classes soon. So they were never the best team in the Metro East or their section, but they were solid because they've got athletes.
Chevre poked that one out of bounds. Her eyes on that defensive play. She was watching her defender, waited until the defender brought it out in front and poked it away. Crafty defense.
6:06 to go. We're not at the Mercy Rule threshold yet. That would be 35 or more, but we'll get out of here with plenty of time before the big one, Eden Prairie and Rosemount. And Eden Prairie, their record is under 500, but they are much better than the record suggests. That should be a fun one. Hurdle to Elander, and Simley not allowing anything inside. Well, the double team leaves an opening for Sophia Zay, and the 8th grader with 6 off the bench. Makes you feel old, doesn't it? Drive is no good for Ella Larson.
Zay controls.
Abby Fink, top of the key. Danso with the block. Chomp Danso, I should say. Her full name is Achompama, but she goes by Chomp to make it easy for the rest of us. And Chevre will want that pass back. But you can live with that with a 25-point lead and a wire-to-wire win for the Spartans.
As a bunch of fresh legs check on.
Chevre knocks that pass away.
Great recovery. Almost a miscommunication with the pick and roll, but quick feet recovery. How many rebounds is that for Sophia Zay? That was like the 4th or 5th in a row.
And she's not quite done yet, although she can't convert the layup.
High double team.
Chevre called out 5. I guess we'll see what that means.
It's like a 1-4 high set. Play broke down somewhere, but nice touch, nice finish.
If a play breaks down, don't worry, just feed it to Chomp.
Yeah,
and
attack
she'll
the
gobble
rim.
it up. And I'll show myself out.
And pick up the steal.
Chevre going outlet. Nothing doing for the Spartans there. 3:14 to go. Simley, they built a big lead in the first half, and as you said, right before we went to break, all they got to do is maintain it, and they've done just that. Over the back foul on Chomp Danso. Inconsequential at this point.
Only the team's 4th. Really enjoying watching the minutes out of number 24, the 8th grader, Sophia Zay. Smart off the ball. Working real hard on defense. The only one back on that break. Not enough to stop Ysareia Chevre, but
not many can stop her. She was tough to stop at Tartan, and just as tough to stop at Simley. High-low and a little spinorama. Sophia Hall with a pirouette. Was she going for style points?
Yeah, yeah. Well, the whole thing was stylish off the backdoor cut, and then the rocket pass from the top of the key.
And you've got to like the fight you're seeing out of Holy Family Catholic. You know, the game's out of hand, but, you know, in a circumstance like this, you're playing in a college venue. May not be the biggest, but you've got folks who are watching this inevitably. I've seen a lot of D3 coaches here.
Well, and look at the defensive pressure they're putting on here just this late. The full court press pays off minus the unfortunate bounce. Press finally getting to Simley. They took care of it well in the beginning, but oh yeah,
Carrying call. Holy Family looking to add a few more highlights. Sophia Hall will add 3 more to the fire total. And some of Simley's bench players are taking the floor. So Stensgard will finish with 19. Chevre will finish with 20. They don't need to do anything more. That's Malia Miller, number 34, a sophomore. The Simley team, they're going to look a lot different next year. Chomp Danso is going to be the only returning starter.
Oh, big block there from Sophia Hall.
Meanwhile, this Holy Family team, they lose a couple of seniors in Fink and Elander. But Nicole Bolin, who leads the team in scoring, she's a sophomore. 4 sophomores, 4 freshmen, 4 8th graders. So
yeah, a lot of future
there. Right, a lot to build on. Entry feed into Sophia Hall, and Sophia, the last few minutes went from a goose egg to 7 points.
Yeah, some quick points. A couple of nice possessions offensively here in a row for the Fire.
And you like to see that, because as one of my colleagues told me, even in a situation like this, coaches, scouts, they're all watching you, and they want to see how you approach the game. As Sophia Zay picks up a backdoor layup, they want to see how you handle a game in situations like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's easy to play when you're up big and everything's going your way, like Simley, but if you're Holy Family Catholic, yeah, we got our butts kicked, but do you show up in situations like that? And I'd say they have.
Well, and what was a 30-plus point deficit has been narrowed here in the dwindling minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Another deep three. Sophia Hall gets her 10th as the buzzer sounds.
Well, Sophia Hall ends the game with a little flair, and she racked up 10 points in a short span of time. But it's Simley who wins the day 65-48. Holy Family, as we said, a lot better than what you saw today. They're 9-6. They have some big wins. Simley, up until the last 5 minutes of the game when the reserves came in, they played very much like the top 10 team they are.
Yeah. Can see why they're ranked so well and why their record is what it is. They pick up the win here pretty handily.
They do indeed. They go to 12-2. Holy Family Catholic goes to 9-6. We'll try to get a word with Chevre and Stensgard and then bring you Game 3 of the MLK Fury Classic.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
And joining me are Ysareia Chevre and Sydney Stensgard from the victorious Simley Spartans. 9 wins in a row. What is the common theme of this win streak?
It's usually defense in the first 5 minutes.
Lots of defense and just trying to take advantage when we get stops on defense.
How big was Raven Miles' return for this team?
I think it was huge just because me playing point guard is just kind of out of position, so putting me back on the wing is just more helpful to the team.
Being able to get Zari on the wing is very helpful, but also just getting another sub, and Raven really pushes the ball for us a lot, so it's been really helpful.
Ysareia, you were feeling it early, knocking down threes, mid-range jumpers, whatever you wanted, you got. How were you able to get in such a rhythm so quickly?
It was mostly just the warm-up, and before the game, we were just talking about the first 5 minutes, like we just said. The first 5 minutes was just so important, just taking them at them and putting our foot on their throat and keeping it there the whole entire game.
And Sydney, you stepped in nicely as well, 19 points. You've had a good stretch of games as far as scoring is concerned. What would you say has helped you play so well these last few games?
Thank you. I just have gotten a lot of shots in outside of games and stuff, and just the repetition of always shooting and doing the game shots where I'm coming off the screen and hitting it right away. That's just what I practice a lot too.
And how would you say the chemistry from last year to this year has grown? Ysareia, this is your second year with the team, and the rest of you've been together for what seems like forever. And it really shows from what I saw today and from some of the wins you picked up this season.
I think we all just have a common goal, just of course everyone wants to win state, but we also want to make a statement. It's our senior season, and there's 4 seniors on the team plus Chomp, and I think we just want to make a statement this season. So.
Yeah, even though it's only her second year at Simley, we've also been playing AAU together since I don't know what grade, but a long time. And so just not even high school all together, AAU, we play with Raven too. So just always playing together is just always been good for us.
Now, Ysareia, we had a chance to look up some of your fun facts, and apparently you like to eat ice cream with a fork, and you're a big fan of Legos. So my partner and I were suggesting maybe develop some sort of Lego fork that you could eat ice cream with.
That sounds great. That sounds like a great idea.
I take it the Lego movie's among your favorites.
Yep.
And the sequels and the Lego Batman movie, all of that, right?
Yep.
Can't get enough of it.
Yep. I honestly, like, some people think it's embarrassing, but I like Legos, so I think they're really cool.
Embarrassing? What's wrong with Legos? I mean,
Exactly.
we've all seen the movies, so why would anyone think that's embarrassing?
Exactly my point.
Sydney, you don't think that's embarrassing, do you?
No.
Well, you see, then when you you can build a pathway, and I could see it now. Like when you get to the playoffs, you'll build like some bracket. I don't know. I'm giving Ysareia a bunch of crazy ideas here, but you want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, everybody. I don't know.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Couldn't think of anyone, Ysareia, could you? Not even TK or Aaron, who made the trek all the way from their game to see you play?
I'll say thank you to TK and Bea for coming. So.
Well, we got to have a little fun here. Otherwise, why are we doing this? So thanks for stopping by. It looked like you had a lot of fun out there, and we'll see if it results in a state tournament run.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ysareia Chevre and Sydney Stensgard. Stick around. We have Eden Prairie Rosemount coming up.